What do we need to know? A message for the collective. When the mind feels trapped, a weekly tarot reflection on trusting yourself. There are weeks when nothing feels outwardly wrong, yet something inside feels heavy. Thoughts become louder than our intuition, emotions become tangled, and we begin questioning ourselves. This week's spread feels like an invitation to gently return inward, not to judge ourselves, but to understand ourselves. Card 1, Mother of Cups. The Mother of Cups is deeply intuitive, insightful, and emotionally wise. What I immediately felt from this card is that this week we're being called to lean into our inner wisdom. There is already a quiet voice within us that knows what we need, but it often gets drowned out by overthinking, fear, or the expectation of others. This isn't about predicting the future. It's about learning to trust your own emotional intelligence in your everyday experiences. Before reacting, pause. Before assuming, listen. Your intuition may already be offering the answer. Card 2, the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords often represents feeling trapped, overwhelmed, or mentally confined. What I kept returning to while reflecting on this card is that sometimes we place ourselves into these mental binds, while other times our experience or the expectations of others contribute to them. Either way, the card quietly reminds us that stagnancy isn't permanent. The Mother of Cups beside the Eight of Swords feels significant. Trusting your intuition also means becoming curious about your own inner world. Notice your thoughts without immediately believing every one of them. Ask yourself where they're coming from and whether they're helping you move forward or keeping you stuck. Self-awareness becomes the key that loosens the ropes. Card 3, the Emperor. The Emperor is protective, structured, and stable. He wants to create security for himself and those he loves. Yet when his energy becomes unbalanced, structure can become rigidity, protection can become control, stability can become emotional suppression. As I reflected on these cards together, I couldn't help but think about the ways many of us protect ourselves by masking. We show up as a version of ourselves that seems acceptable. We hold everything together. We appear fine, but afterward we're exhausted. Masking may protect us temporarily, but it often disconnects us from ourselves. This week may be inviting us to ask, who am I when I'm not trying to appear okay? What do I actually need emotionally instead of what I think I should need? With cups, swords, and fire all present in this spread, the focus feels centered on our emotional and mental well-being. For some, that may simply mean finally talking about what's been weighing on you. If you've been considering therapy, perhaps this is the gentle encouragement to take that step. If you're already seeing a therapist, maybe this is the week to bring up the thoughts or experiences you've been hesitant to speak aloud. Healing doesn't only happen through reflection. Sometimes healing happens through conversation. Sometimes it happens through movement, a walk, a run, creating art, journaling, praying, meditation, or any healthy coping skill that helps you process rather than suppress what you're feeling. Whatever your intuition is bringing to the surface, meet it with practical action. Card 4, the High Priestess. The High Priestess feels like confirmation. She reminds us that wisdom follows honesty. After facing whatever arises this week, instead of avoiding it, you'll likely notice something shift. Maybe you'll discover a solution. Maybe you'll simply realize you're stronger than you gave yourself credit for. Sometimes enlightenment isn't receiving new information. Sometimes it's finally believing what we've known all along. Card 5, Son of Wands. The Son of Wands is adventurous, inspired, and willing to keep moving forward. One message from the Wild Unknown deck has stayed with me for a long time. The goal isn't perfection. That reminder feels especially important here. Sometimes the Eight of Swords isn't created by failure. It's created by perfectionism. I know this cycle personally. When I begin expecting perfection from myself, nothing feels good enough. Every accomplishment loses its value because all I can see is what I didn't do. Eventually, I have to remind myself, I showed up today. I made progress today. I took one step closer than I was yesterday. Those things matter. When I remember that, I slow down. I make myself tea. I spend a little time in solitude. I listen to affirmations or mantras. I thank God for carrying me through another day. Then gratitude slowly replaces disappointment. I don't think this cycle completely disappears. I think the work is learning how to recognize it sooner and developing healthy ways to move through it instead of staying there. Peace often isn't found because it becomes perfect. Peace comes because we learn how to return to ourselves. Card 6. The Hangman. The Hangman closes this reading beautifully. This card speaks of perspective, of surrender, of seeing something differently than before. Perhaps nothing new is being revealed this week. Perhaps you're simply being reminded of something you've always known but temporarily forgot. Sometimes that's exactly what we need, a healthy reminder, a pause, a shift in perspective that allows us to continue forward with more compassion toward ourselves. The Hangman reminds us that growth often begins the moment we stop resisting what we're meant to learn. If you've been feeling mentally overwhelmed, emotionally exhausted, or disappointed in yourself, I hope this reading serves as a gentle reminder that these states don't have to define you forever. Thoughts change, emotions move, perspective evolves. Healing isn't about never entering difficult seasons, it's about learning how to navigate them with greater awareness each time they arrive. This week, trust your intuition, speak kindly to yourself, accept progress over perfection, and remember that gratitude often waits quietly on the other side of the thoughts that convince us we'll never reach it. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys in the